Welcome to part 3 of Caring for Your Senses, a workshop on Ayurveda and essential oils. If you have not subscribed and you enjoy these videos, please subscribe so you're notified when new installments are ready to view. So what I'd like to do first is a quick bit of guided journaling to connect to your senses and to get you engaged a bit more. So I'm going to give you the prompt. If you choose to do the journaling right now, you can pause the video to write before you resume. There'll be 2 prompts and I'll give you a second between each one to pause if you like. So the first prompt is to list the things that you find particularly pleasurable, even just one for each sense. So for example, I love the sound of rain. I love the feeling of warm water on my skin. I love the smell of freshly baked bread, and so forth. So I'll give you a second if you want to pause to do this journaling exercise right now. And the second prompt is to write out the earliest memory you have that's associated with one of your senses that you can remember. So for example, for me, I was born in Japan and I lived there for the first 3 years of my life, but I don't have a lot of concrete memories of Japan. For me though, I remember, I feel like my earliest memory is the smell of cherry blossoms. So I'll give you another second here if you'd like to pause, or you can do this exercise later if you choose to just, to get you thinking about getting to know yourself through your senses. So now in this video, we're going to go through, I think, probably 3 of our senses and talk about practical things that you can add to your daily routine to care for the sense organs so that they function well, and also how to have discretion around your sensory intake to create as sattvic a life, a mind, and a body as you can. So this is not for you to feel like you have to add all of these things to your life. Some of these things will stand out to you as ones that are appealing or that you just intuit would be really good for you. So just kind of let it wash over you rather than overwhelm you, because there are several practices in here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, so the eyes. The eyes are the seat of heat in our body. They're prone to inflammation, especially when we spend a lot of time on screens, which most of us do. The eyes transform light into image, image into meaning constantly. The more we look at screens, use our eyes, the more task-oriented and rajasic we can get. So our focus narrows physically and mentally. Anything you gaze upon can have far-reaching effects on your mind, body, emotions, and spirit. And just think about the effects of looking at a sunset versus a violent image on television, or even a sunset versus fireworks. So thinking about discernment around what we take in through our eyes, consider what you watch and what you read. Consider any negative visual impressions can trigger stress response and suppress our immune system. And positive imagery can create soothing chemicals. So when we think about those 3 qualities, those gunas that we talked about in the last video, rajasic impressions through the eyes could be the news, visuals that are shown on the news, cop shows, anything really fast paced is going to have a rajasic quality. Tamas, scary movies, video games, particularly video games that are dark or frightening. And then sattvic images, art, not all art, but a lot of art, plants, clouds, sky, nature, really anything in nature are calming and soothing. Think about how is your home? How is your office? What do you look at habitually every day in your surroundings? What is the lighting like? Artificial light versus candles or natural daylight. Cool, soothing colors, gentle or no texture, blank space, just visual rest, having nothing to look at. Think about how much time you spend in nature, gazing at sky, at trees, or at your pet. So daily practices that anyone can take on, especially if you're on a screen a lot or if your eyes bother you at all, is one is that you can rinse your eyes in the morning or spray rose water first thing in the morning. an optional practice, especially if you're someone who's on a screen all day long, is this 20-20-20 exercise. So roughly every 20 minutes, look up 20 feet away from you, which widens your gaze, and blink 20 times. So blue light glasses are also really great. I didn't want to give too many practices here, but I would say one of the best things you can do first thing in the morning is to splash cool water into your eyes. I like to spray rose water into my eyes, especially if you have any kind of irritation. So for essential oils, some studies have shown that frankincense oil can improve eyesight, and in particular, macular degeneration. And so do note that these are not FDA approved claims at all. So if you choose to try this, it's just a small amount on your cheeks and on either side of your eye, but don't get too close to your eyes with any oils, and definitely not in your eyes. Always dilute in a carrier oil, especially if you're close to your eyes, you're on a sensitive part of your skin. But because frankincense also happens to be great for skin and aging, you can rub it in as a serum all over your face. Also, a bit of frankincense on your third eye, right on your forehead between your eyebrows, when you meditate, is said to enhance your spiritual connection and devotion. So if you're taking notes, you might take some time between each of these senses to assess the impressions you're habitually taking in through your sense, through each sense, and think about one or two shifts that you can make or practices that you can add. And then also make sure to recognize and celebrate things you're already doing that are nourishing for you. Okay, so we're going to move on to, hopefully, there we go, the nose. So your emotions and your memories are deeply connected to your sense of smell. I don't think it's a coincidence that my first impression is a smell, the smell of cherry blossoms. Which sense was it easiest to recall a memory from for you? My guess is that for a lot of you, it was your sense of smell. So in terms of discernment, think about what the air is like in your home and your office. How often do you open your windows, trying to alleviate any stale air in your house and in your office? Diffusers for aromatherapy. Again, it's our most primitive of senses. It connects us directly with our memories, our emotions, and our instincts. And when we smell, we absorb molecules as natural medicine. What are you using to clean? Lemon oil is a wonderful thing to put in a natural cleaner. Lavender. So thinking about, again, those qualities, rajas. Rajasic smells could be just more aggressive smells like onions, maybe even some very stimulating essential oils like peppermint could possibly be rajasic in large quantities. Tamas, we're going to talk about decaying smells, garbage, a dirty environment, cigarette smoke, all of those things would be tamasic in nature for the sense of smell. And then sattvic, I mean, that's pretty obvious. Most essential oils, especially the calming ones like lavender, fresh flowers in your environment, and that's a double whammy because they're beautiful to look at as well. Daily practices. So nasya oil. Nasya oil is an herbed oil that you can apply to your nasal cavities. So the nose is a direct route to your brain. So a couple of ways you can use nasya oil. You can just kind of swipe it in to your nose, or you can lay back and actually drop a few drops into your nose and bring it all the way up into your sinuses. So it protects against dryness and virus bacteria in your nose by keeping those nasal passages moist rather than cracked and dry. It can also alleviate headaches, frequent colds, nosebleeds. And then of course, diffusing oils, using a humidifier. As bonus practices, make sure that you're really smelling your food before you eat to stimulate digestion. Like right now, pause. What do you smell? It's a great way to slow down, stop rushing, and be present. If you do tend to be a little bit more on the congested side, or especially in the springtime when we have seasonal allergies, nasal rinsing can be great practice. It prevents bacteria, can prevent sore throats, sinus infections, and improve mental clarity. It promotes fresh breath and enhances your sense of smell. So the process of cleaning and purifying the nasal passages with saline solution can help you improve the quality of your breath, which is vital to your well-being and longevity. And the ability to take a long and deep breath, specifically through your nose, is important. So if you're going to do nasal rinsing, if you're doing it yourself, a quarter of a teaspoon of non-iodized salt to 1 cup of warm water, distilled or boiled, and then cooled to a temperature that you can comfortably take in through your nose. You can use neuroassociative conditioning to consciously link a healing response to a given smell. So you can use an aroma when you're feeling relaxed and associate with that. You can even use it to learn. So diffusing a scent that you're not used to when learning something new, and then diffuse it again when you're sleeping to help your brain process what you're learning. Moving on now to the mouth, to your tongue. So how often do we pause and truly taste our food? And I know I've been prone to just shoving food in my mouth while at my desk working, eating too quickly. But taste is so connected to smell. It has automatic associations. It can feel comforting, which is what causes often overeating. Can remind us of a time and place. And the Ayurvedic word for taste is rasa, which also can mean emotion or mood. So Ayurveda describes 6 tastes that physiologically and psychologally evoke those qualities, those mahagunas. Those 6 tastes give you balanced nutrients and help you to feel satisfied. And we're going to go more into this in depth when we get to weight and digestion. But make sure that you give yourself space and time to notice what flavors are coming through to you when you eat. So some of the qualities we're talking about, rajas, tamas, and sattva. So rajasic food is going to be food that's more spicy. We also already talked about how tamas is leftovers, foods with no flavor, dull flavor that are not spiced or herbed at all. And of course, sattva, that's pretty much any fresh food. The fresher, the better. So how you eat, savoring your food, chewing it all the way to liquid is super important. As a daily practice, Ayurvedic oral hygiene practices can reduce or eliminate many dental procedures. So oral health is a window into our overall health, and issues in our mouth can affect deeper organs and tissues. So there's a lot of emphasis in Ayurvedic dinacharya on cleanliness of the mouth and tongue. So the couple of practices I'm going to recommend are tongue scraping, which stimulates digestion, reduces bad breath, and enhances taste, removes ama, which is toxins. And you do it on an empty stomach, and also, it gives you a daily awareness of your balance today. If every morning you're scraping your tongue, and there's a particular tool you can use for that. You're looking at your tongue every morning, and it can give you an awareness of how balanced you are from day to day. Oil pulling. You can use something as simple as coconut oil or sesame oil for oil pulling, which is just holding oil in your mouth for up to 20 minutes a day. Strengthens and removes tension from your jaw, improves taste, helps remove bacteria, reduces sensitivity in the gums, and promotes healthy sinuses. So like I said, it's a daily swish. Sesame is mostly recommended. If you don't like that, you can try coconut oil. And then make sure that when you're spitting it out, you spit it out either into the trash or into the toilet. You don't want to put it down a drain. We also have, through a company that I love, Binding Botanicals, has a product called Daily Swish, which is those oils that has Ayurvedic herbs and essential oils in it for added benefit. So those microbes in your mouth then adhere to the oil, so they detach from your teeth and help to promote immunity. For essential oils, you can place 1 drop of tea tree oil on your toothbrush for even fresher feeling, even cleaner feeling in your teeth. You can gargle with On Guard. On Guard is a doTERRA product, and they have mouthwashes. It's also just an essential oil. You can stick a drop of On Guard at the top of your mouth, and that's really wonderful for your immunity. So I am going to wrap up today's video here. Be sure to come back next time for ears and skin, and for the conclusion of caring for your senses. See you next time.